So let me see evaluationary process models. As just now we have discussed in evaluationary process models, most of the companies are less in usage. That's why only few companies are going to be using this evaluationary process model. In the name itself, evaluationary talks about an iterative, and this evaluation process models produced an increasingly more different complete versions of with different iterations. So each iteration here called as increment. Now evaluation process models will deals with not only the linear way but also iterative. So evaluation process models will both talks about the linear as well as iterative. Now different types of evaluation models we have. Among that, the first one is prototype. The second one is spiral model. The third one, concrete development model. Let me see the first one, prototyping. The name itself talks about prototyping, nothing but it's a mock-up. Mock-up in the sense that's only a blueprint. It just defines a set of objectives but does not identify the input output process. Only it gives prototype. Prototype means what? Look like an assumption, a blueprint of that. So it is not sure, developer is not sure about which type of efficient algorithm can use, and it is not adaptable for which type of operating system it can support, and it doesn't consisting the knowledge on whether it is a human interaction or machine interaction. So these are the some confusion questions will be there in the minds of developer. As I said you, in any model, in any process models, these activities like communication, modeling, planning, construction, deployment, all sort of things will be done in a correct manner, will be done in a correct way. All sort of things will be done it. Okay. So all things will be surely done with the help of all these five activities. So if you see the figure, it look like as an iterative in process, right? Communication followed by planning, followed by this modeling, followed by the construction, followed by the deployment. So these are the five things can be done here. But as it is a prototype, doesn't having much knowledge to the developer what to do, which type of algorithm for which operating system supports, or whether it is really is a machine interaction or it may be a human interaction. So it just begins with the first step in the prototype is just begin with the requirement gathering. Once the requirement gathering has done, now identify whatever the requirements are known. So just it will be outline the areas where the definition is mandatory, means whatever the main areas it focus. It just give a quick design and just give with the help of the design the construction prototype. Prototype in the sense like only skeleton, and the prototype evaluated by the customer. So requirement if required, refine it, and by tuning that one, maybe this customer can satisfy for that. Only simple steps can be done in the prototype. The major drawbacks of this prototype here is it is in a rush manner. It get working in a rusher way, so that's why it is inappropriate. Is not suitable for which operating system or programming language, which algorithm, not having any clarity over there. So rushing the things will leads to the damage of the reputation of the company, as well as they are not satisfied to the level of the customer requirement, as well as more it's not be marketable in the current situations. Because of that, there is another model called as spiral model. So the spiral model talks about, if you see the spiral model, it is also one type of evaluationary model. Now what you are doing here is, if you see the first bullet, over here, which combines both classical life cycle. What is the other name for classical life cycle is waterfall, and iterative nature. Iterative nature is just now we have seen prototype, or also maybe we can have incremental model. It combines classic life cycle, means waterfall, as well as iterative nature of prototype into one model. So that comes under spiral model. Now includes a new element called as risk element. Not only in the previous increment model, we have each element, each thing is called as increment. Each iteration gives the release as a increment. Now here also adding a new extra element called as risk element. So it starts in the middle and continually visits the basic task of the communication, planning, modeling, construction, and deployment. You already have awareness of the communication task or project initiation, and you're just initiating the project, as well as you're going to be gathering the requirement. That are the two tasks under communication. In planning, what you're doing, you are estimating, scheduling, and you are going to be see such a way that whether the tracking of the project is in time or not. So these are the three tasks you are going to doing. One is you are going to make some the estimating. Second, the scheduling. Third one, you are going to track it. In the modeling, you are going to just analyze and design. In construction, code and test. In deployment, you're just getting deliver the project to the customer and get the feedback. So delivery and feedback are the two tasks under the development. Okay. If you see the in detail of this spiral model, who this described, the spiral model has described by Bowen in 2001. He said that spiral development model is a risk driven process model because we are externally we are adding an element called as risk element. That's why it's a risk driven process model. It is generated that is used to guide the multi stakeholder concurrent engineering of software intensive systems. Multi stakeholders means it satisfies not only a particular specific stakeholders, it deals with the multi customers, multi stakeholders concurrently, means the parallelly they can satisfy to all. So the main two distinguished features of this one is, as I said you, one is a classic approach you are using, another going to you are using as a iterative approach. So in classic approach, for incrementally growing a system, degree of definition and implementation while decreasing its degree of risk. Because you are using a normal flow of cyclic approach here, you are going to using the iteration manner. So more the number of the degree of the implementation, because it is incrementally you are developing, not at a time you are releasing to the market to the customer. Incrementally you are making. So degree of definition, it is going to be growing. So the incrementally growing a system because the degree of definition is incrementally you are releasing the to the customer. Because of that, the implementation part is going to be incremental model. Because of that only, it is decreasing the risk, degree of risk. So risk element you are going to add it, and also it is an incremental model. Because of that, risk will be decreased. As the growth is increasing, risk is decreasing because you are applying both classic as well as iterative models. So the other is the set of anchor point milestones. Anchor points milestones means whenever it is reaching to the milestone. Milestone is nothing but here timelines. The timelines is going to reaching there, and anchor points. Anchor point in the sense a type of alert whether the timeline you are going to be reaching, because please try to complete that one. So for ensuring stakeholder commitment to feasible and mutually satisfying system solution. So we are also adding a set of anchor point here nothing but a indicators, specifying whenever the it is reaching to the out of the near it is reaching to the timelines of the project completion, or it is out of the timelines, it will make some indication. If you see the figure of this spiral model, hope you are seeing here, it will be adding both iterative as well as the normal classic life cycle, means waterfall. So if you see the steps, first it is identify next level of the stakeholders. It starts the processor from here. It starts from here. S is the start. It will start from here. It goes on one after the other. It goes on the steps. Once it is reached to from here to here, from here to here, it release one increment. It release another increment. It release another increment. Like this, different increments will be released. At each increment, you are going to be make sure whether any risk you are going to be reducing or not. So because of that, you can make the risk factor here reducing. In a simpler manner, if you see that figure and this figure, both are same figures, but graphically it is showing in a different style. So it starts and each time it is releasing that. So hope you are already aware the task on each phase, each activity. What are the tasks? Communication deals with the you are going to make some sort of the timelines you are going to have here in the communication. You are just gathering the things from the customer, the requirements, whatever you require, and in the planning, estimating, scheduling, risk analysis. And here you're going to be having the model, analysis, design, construction, code, test, in the deployment, delivery, and feedback. Hope here we are adding a new element in the part of the planning, risk analysis. Okay, so actually in the previous, it is estimating, scheduling, and tracking. So we are going to add risk analysis as well. So this is some sort of the explanation for the spiral model. So it is a realistic approach in nature and better understanding between the developer and customer, because we have in the incremental fashion. But the difference between the incremental model and spiral model is incremental model consisting of only iterative, but the spiral model consisting of both the classical, that is waterfall, and as well as incremental. So that's the only difference between these two. And we have a first circuit, like the core product in the incremental, here also called as first circuit, and subsequent circuits as well for the development of this prototype. And the problems with the spiral model is it is demands a fixed budget, because your management, if you demands that it's a fixed budget, within 1 crore the project has to complete, or within 50 lakhs the project has to complete. At that time, it is not recommendable to take the spiral model, because as the number of iterations you are going to be releasing each iteration as an increment, any changes, any sort of things, there is a chances to go for the amount, the cost will be increased because of more changes, more the cost, right? So that is a point here, it will be discussed about that. Like another example, if you are going to be have given any sort of work to build a construction, be a constructor party, construction, building constructors, then at the time initially whatever they said it, like 2 floors of building are required, in each floor this many number of rooms, in second floor this many number of rooms. If the job is done, again if you are asking to add one more room in the first floor, add one more thing in the second floor, at the time definitely the cost is more. If you are not want to be any changes, more changes, if you are asked them, they only with the fixed budget in the initial, whatever the agreement done between the builder and the customer, the same budget can complete it. So it is highly recommended that if fixed budgets are there, it's not suitable the spiral model. The second limitation is major risk is not uncovered and managed. In the sense, only minor risk can be applicable. Problems with undoubtedly, it's not be covered. So major risk if is there in your projects, there is a chances to not support by this spiral model. So because of these two reasons, it is not recommendable to go ahead. So because of that, the another model called as concrete model. So in the concrete model, it deals with also called as concrete engineering. So what will be there in the concrete model in the sense, here in the name itself, concrete. Normally concrete means what? It will be given this strongness to improve the strong. They are adding concrete with the cement, including to build any type of buildings. In the same fashion, here concrete gives it constitutes a series of framework activities, the engineering actions, tasks, and their associated states. The same look like as a framework. All these activities exist concurrently, but reside in the different states. Now, if you say, I'll show you the diagram so that you can understand clearly. So this is one state. This is a total. This is the activity diagram. You'll draw in the lab, SC lab, all the activities class diagram. This is one state. Concurrently, parallel it is doing. See, under when will be under development, when it is go for review, based on the timeline it is done. If any changes done, if you are satisfied within the baseline, then done. It goes to not awaiting for changes. If any revision done, again it goes to under review and complete the baseline, done. Now, this is a normal process. How? From the development, it goes to review process. If any within the baseline, if completed, if it is done, they will wait for changes. Now, once the changes has done from the customer, any changes, it go again for revision. Again, go for review it. Again, baseline, done. If no changes are there, then directly from the under development to, if the job is done, it's okay. And go for waiting for changes. Like this, it has to done in the modeling. So in the modeling, what we are doing, we are just making analysis and design part. So unless this will be done, this state will be in inactive state. Once the job is done, one element in the product will be in one state, that is active state. Another will be inactive state. Inactive state means it has gone for under review. Active state means it has to completed the total review and ready for do. So one element means one activity. Here element is nothing but one activity can be done as a active state, another activity done as a inactive. So both will be done in a concurrent manner. Means in a parallel manner. So the example shown here, the figure shows is for one element, means for one activity. Which activity? Modeling activity. The same thing can be done in the communication. Same thing can be done in plan. So these are parallel activities concurrently it is doing. So when one activity is gone under for review, the another activity completing the job. Okay. So like this, the normal concurrent model will be applicable, and also this applicable to all types of software development. So any type of application, it will be more suitable for you to develop it. Okay. So all type of software development can support. So event generated at one point in the process triggered transition among the state. Just now I have said you that if it is making one state under review, another state is active state. So anything can be triggered at any point of time. So concrete model is often more appropriate for product engineering projects where different engineering teams are involved. Best example is manufacturing or any sort of where multidisciplinary area peoples, many departments or involvement is there. In that situation, this concurrent model is suitable because one department is doing one job, their job, another department doing another job, another department doing another job. If 4 departments are involved in the total development of the project or a product, so 4 departments parallelly they do their jobs in their own module, right? So in that situation, a concrete model will be helpful. So as a summary of this evaluation process model, if you see the comment, project planning is difficult because more iterations are there, number of changes you are doing. Initially we can't plan, this is my final, we can't sign out in the requirement. Speed of evaluation is not known because as more the changes are done, then more time it takes. If the less changes, less time. Does not focus on flexibility and extensibility because it emphasizes on high quality. No doubt, number of changes or you are asking, more timing it taking. So definitely high quality of product will become into market. Requirement is balanced between high quality and flexibility and extensibility. That's also another comment, means another limitations in the evaluationary process model. So whatever we have seen here in this one, evaluationary models, under that we have seen roughly prototyping, spiral model and concrete model. So each model having their own limitations as well as their own advantages. So that is about evaluationary process models.